What up, Heath?
What up, what up?
Look at that. Repping the OG Ethereum shirt.
I heard there's a cool hackathon being announced here.
There is a quest to supersede all the rest. Nick, whoa.
Hi there.
Hey, is that Johnny?
No, David from Slovenia.
Oh, David, what's up, man? Nice to see you here.
Yeah, a bit busy with kids, but I see that.
Hey. Bring the baby
This is Ella.
to the future.
She's Ella.
Hi, Ella. Ellen.
Ella.
Hello. Ella.
Ella.
Sweet. Well, let's kick it off because we are about to talk about the MetaCartel DragonQuest virtual hackathon. So, hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Yalor. I am a tavern keeper at the Raid Guild, a shaman at the MetaGame, and a newish member of the MetaCartel. And we decided to put together a virtual hackathon because of all of the things that are happening right now. It's a little bit crazy. A lot of events have been canceled, and we wanted to do something for the community and keep the energy and the enthusiasm rolling. DragonQuest is the official hackathon of the MetaCartel. We hope that the format will set a new standard for virtual events to allow the cartel and members to provide support and sponsorship for all the builders in the Web3 ecosystem. It's always been MetaCartel's goal to build a better Web3 and to promote builders who are building cool stuff. So why remote? Well, as we know, there are tons of issues happening globally right now. We've got travel bans, events canceled, viruses, lots of people getting affected inside the community. So it's really important to have resilient and remote events that are kind of unstoppable, just like Ethereum. To begin with, this is something I think we've been thinking about for a little while, is that there's a barrier to entry to events to begin with, hackathons at physical locations. Even though they may be free for attendees sometimes, it is expensive to take flights. It is an energy drain to be there for the whole entire time and to stay at an Airbnb, to go back and forth in between. There is visa restrictions for people from certain countries. And so it just makes a lot of sense because we have all the tools we need to deploy these kind of events in a virtual setting. Why not set up a system and a structure that can continue to support people who want to work from anywhere? We know builders are coming from anywhere and everywhere, and that you do not need to be in a physical location to collaborate with a team. So MetaCartel really wants to support people who are motivated to join teams and to build amazing products and collaborate online, but also to help kind of like retrain people so that we can keep these events going in through the future without interruptions. Like, these events need to be unstoppable. We can't be closing up shop basically and stopping development on all of the things that we're building just because, you know, we have a little virus sweeping the world. So the ethos of the event, of the MetaCartel hackathon, and I'll go ahead and share my screen because we've set up an awesome website. Pop. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah, looks like it.
Yep.
Awesome. So yeah, the intention of the event is collaboration over competition. There will be 5 top winners, 1st through 5th place. We wanted to reward as many people as possible, but the idea is to have fun, be creative, to, you know, form teams that are well-rounded, who are tackling interesting issues and using some of the tools that exist inside the Metacartel ecosystem. So there's a ton of sponsors. We're also accepting new sponsors right now. So if you're interested as a project or as a founder to sponsor the event, we are accepting bounties. And the bounties are a great way for hackers to get introduced to your tools or what you've developed so far. We're working with already a few great organizations such as Pepo, who just spoke a few moments ago. We've got 3Box, DAP Hero. Of course, the MetaGame is sponsoring, although I think the MetaGame actually accomplished all their bounties before the hackathon even started, which is great, but I'm sure we'll have more. So there's more spots left for people to jump up and support the hackathon, because this hackathon is different from all the rest. There's no charging for sponsors, and all the money goes directly to the hackers. So the bounties will be set up in a way where they're all visible to the community, and then each of the sponsors has a channel where they can connect with people who are asking questions about their bounties, basically. So it's a cool format. We want people to make things that matter. We want to make it easy for them to deploy cool tools. And we want to watch this virtual community thrive. We've got some interesting ideas for what might happen after the hackathon, but we'll save those because we want to execute a good event. And we want to make sure that all of the attendees feel like they've got the right direction, that they were able to get through the event and share their ideas with people who are also interested in connecting with them. So we have the tools for total remote coordination. We have chats, we have Figma boards, and we have payout systems. Like we're using Bounties Network combined with F12, which is a super easy way for teams to collaborate and build squads. And now we have things like Interspace. Interspace is also a community tool where people can just connect anytime and link up to have a chat room, which is a awesome tool that will continue to be developed. So we believe that teams who know how to execute from anywhere are stronger, more aligned, and we want to make sure they're prepared for any situation. That's kind of like the spirit of the hackathon. It starts on April 1st. It runs for 30 days. The judges are still being defined, but we have some good ones so far. Zach Herring, Dan Elzer, Jake Brookman, Rick Burton, Lily Shashka, and Zephram Liu. We're also accepting new judge applications. These could potentially be for the next event that we're going to do, because we hope to continue hosting these remote hackathons as more people find out about what we are doing. We can improve this system. We can create an environment that allows us to progress under any conditions. We really want to train hackers who are ready to execute. And I think that the DragonQuest Hackathon is just the beginning for us. We would like to see more events like this done, maybe on a quarterly basis. And we may be even able to roll in DAO functionality with some of the winners. So you could see something happening like the Grandmaster champions of the DragonQuest Hackathon are then entered into a DAO that allows them to vote on the winners of the next hackathon. So they're automatically enrolled into the DAO. It's something that's still in talks, but it's a very interesting, exciting prospect for us. More DAOs, basically. More DAOs for more people. Yeah, so that's the gist of the event. Like I said, it's starting up in about 2 weeks. You can go to hackathon.metacartel.org and you can apply as a hacker, apply as a sponsor. It'll dump you into our Discord, where I am paying close attention to new members, any questions that need to be asked, and get things sorted out. There is all the answers to most questions are in the pinned messages of the channels, just to make it super easy for people. And Zephram from the F12 team are there as well to answer questions about F12. All of the bounties. Let's jump into the bounty section real quick because we can look at that. Actually, no, we can't do that right now because I'm on a different computer. But yeah, so if you go through the hacker application, basically, you'll be able to jump into the Discord and look at all the bounties. And the bounties are being put up as we speak. Basically, sponsors have 2 weeks to put those bounties up, and then they'll all be available. And then the sponsors themselves decide basically who is going to be winning those bounties. And then the panel of judges is going to be deciding. We're going to release how all the judging information will be done in about a week and a half. We'll be drafting a second blog post and releasing that on the Metacartel Medium so that people know how to submit properly and what we will be looking for. A little bit about judging. Zach Herring put together a nice little judging flow for us to make it easy for the judges to come in and evaluate the projects once they're submitted. The projects will have to be submitted by... that's good. I'm not sharing it right now.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. I can't get into Discord at the moment. Or I would. Yeah, so basically what we'll be looking for in winning submissions is there'll be a prototype, pitch deck, possibly a video demo, a link to the submission, and there is all those creative bounties. They can range from being project specific, non-specific, micro dApps, brand new projects utilizing functionality, or with the judges using scorecards weighing individual factors. So we'll release, like I said, that in about a week and a half, and it will be made really clear to all the attendees. That basically covers it, though. That is the MetaCartel DragonQuest Hackathon. If anybody has any questions or wants to find out more, you can go to hackathon.metacartel.org and jump into the Discord, start asking questions, start sharing ideas with other teams, and find out how to get a project rolling in there. The end. Sweet, someone dropped the link in already. We have a little bit more time here. If anyone wants to, let me see when the next talk is.
I was just going to jump in here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'd love feedback on this. I want to do, so at East London, because I mentioned a little bit earlier in my talk about communities that it's sometimes very hard to get like tips and help when you really need it from mentors. We were going to do the addition and so on. I want to do the same for design, because I think, again, it's like a big problem. Typically at hackathons, I've seen so many people kind of go, oh, I need a designer, please help, and, frantically Googling things. Do we think this would be helpful just to have bite-size design tips happening with links to component libraries, I don't know, any kind of write-ups, any kind of helpful information, if you think that's a good idea.
Yeah, so we have a link section in the Discord now. It is basically going to be all of the helpful things that people might need. Definitely how to execute on submitting the final submissions. But I think that those links could also live in there. We might also be able to, we could totally just open a design channel. So it's like if there's design-based questions, they could be dropped into there, or the videos could be dropped into there directly so people can consume them. But I think that would be helpful. It's an interesting thing that was worth like investigating for sure, because if people have questions or where to go to resources, sometimes like you spend a lot of time when you could just talk to an expert, and like the experts will already be in the room. So yeah, definitely there. Help channel is also there. Basically, we wanted to try and make sure that there's enough support from the sponsors who are experts in their field, and B, the grandmasters, the judges, the helpers who are part of MetaCartel, who can answer questions and give feedback. So yeah, there'll be plenty of people like paying attention and stuff, but all the resources that can be added should be added.
When I have the question and I need the help. That's why I was thinking. But yeah.
Well, I mean, let's say that if you put all that content up, it's evergreen, right? The content can be reused or recycled, so it can live in a tool where those live, or they could live in a GitHub repo or something like that. Okay. So yeah, definitely. Why not?
Cool.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
It just this last part of the talk of your conversation reminded me of the thing we talked like a few days ago. You remember the science repository? So taking the harder way. So it's not on the GitHub. It's not in Discord. It could be, but just to try an experiment. What happens if you share your resources from your laptop directly? So more dynamically, there is one aggregating server, and anybody that searches in this server searches directly on all people's laptops which are currently connected to that server. And this is how you can dynamically share resources that you just mentioned, like for design, for anything. And we talked about this in the context of science and scientific papers, and it's a harder way to do it, and it's not obvious if it's better or not, but everybody's just using the established infrastructure and everything. So I want to be a little bit an outsider and start small and test a little bit, So maybe this is something I'm thinking of applying for. What services are people using that are not, because people don't have their own servers, and it's very cheap to have one. And if you install something on it, then magically new vistas open potentially. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, no, I think that like kind of non-centralized resources are great. We should absolutely explore that, as long as it's. I have a feeling that it should be as easy to access as any of those other services, and maybe it's even easier to access at some point, because then you don't have to use an email to log in or anything like that. You just query the server, and then the information's available. But it's the tipping point, right? Where does it become easy enough for people to use? Whereas they're like, oh, look, we don't need to use this anymore. I'll just query the server. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely like a really interesting thing. And I think creating decentralized tools that are around these kind of like these ideas of building decentralized communities is a great way of starting, right? Like if we can do it with these little things, then we can make the transition away from all these. Because I know personally I have so many accounts, to use all the tools and to share all the information that I need to. And I wish I didn't, right? I wish my email inbox was not exploding with offers from Notion and GitHub and
thanks. Maybe something useful can be done. It's different for sure. It's more sporadic. You don't get same search results all the time. It depends. But yeah, thanks for confirmation that there is something in it. I'm actually sure it is, but I'm glad even without the prototype shown that some people or a lot of people here maybe can sense that it's worth exploring and would be willing to help test something. Thank you.
Definitely. Well, you'll get feedback from the MetaFam community for sure. If you're in there,
Okay.
you'll plenty of testers.
Thanks for now.
Yeah. So up next, we have. Oh wait, who's emceeing this room? I don't want to take over.
Oh, that's technically me.
Is that
Yeah.
you, Barada?
You're doing great. So like, keep on keeping on.
No, you're doing great. Actually, everyone's doing great. I think so far the talks have been really fantastic, and it's the platform is holding through for the first iteration. So let's see. Up next is Bright ID. Oh, this is a great project. So we have, I think it's Philip Silva from Bright ID, speaking about decentralized